Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, how you folks doing? Welcome here to the August 19th, 2019 Raw Post Show. Oh yeah, here we go, everybody. Well. We saw quite an entertaining show here tonight, didn't we, folks? Oh, we sure did. We saw just like literally everything we probably could have wanted come onto the show. It was really well done. I have very few issues with the show overall. There is definitely a few, no doubt about that. It was not a perfect show, but it was definitely very entertaining. I was so entertained by this show from start to finish, from Dolph Ziggler to new tag team champions, to the King of the Ring tournament, to the legendary guest appearances of Jerry the King Lawler and Booker T while he was over Skype. You know, like, it was just a good episode overall, everybody. I enjoyed it, like I said, from start to finish. We're going to break it all down. But before we get into that, everybody, it is now time for the Conman Certified Roll Call. So who do we got in here today? We got the convict Payton Cash. How you doing? Matthew Blackman, welcome to the live stream. We got Aled Thomas, A13 Entertainment, Aaron Rodgers, Waleed Hijaz, I always mispronounce your name. Baker Mayfield, how you doing, my friend? The Ultimate Insane. We got Christian Vega. B. Gillis up in here. Justin Roberts, great to see you. Rebecca Helfritz, how you doing? I hope you enjoyed the show there live. We got Tesla167. We got Neek Man, Atlanta, Spain. We got Steve Taylor, the captain of the Bob Club. And we're going to go with Arcanium Gaming HD. Asking me about, did you hear about wrestling? Oh, never mind. Don't worry about that. Eddie Ferrero, welcome to the live stream. So yes, everybody, we are here live. We are breaking down everything that went down on Monday Night Raw. And then we'll get to your guys' live calls. We'll get to about 3 or 4 live callers later on, as we know how this show always goes. So everybody, without further ado, are you ready? I said, are you ready? I don't know why I'm being lame. Let's just jump into this. All right, everybody. So our commentary started out with Michael Cole, Renee Young, and Jerry the King Lawler. We were introduced, obviously, the 3 of them at the very start of the night, and it was a night fit for the King as Jerry the King Lawler held on to his crown, promoting the King of the Ring tournament that was to come throughout the night. And then we find out that he is set to interview Sasha Banks at a later time in the King's Court. Very King-heavy theme tonight. Obviously, with the King of the Ring, that is good. You want it to be a heavy night on that. And they did a good way presenting it right from the start. And then we got some video packages of Roman Reigns being attacked over the past month. We've seen everything. We've seen this many times. The car accident, the electrical thing, everything that has been going on with Roman Reigns was shown at the start of the show. And then Dolph Ziggler makes his appearance after Roman Reigns. And Ziggler has a nice little microphone right there saying that he is not a Twitter keyboard warrior like the majority of the fans here tonight. He's glad that Reigns is okay and that after all the near attacks, he is not injured. Ziggler just doesn't understand why he gets all the attention, though. He doesn't understand why Reigns is getting all this attention after he is okay after everything. The crowd begin to chant, "You suck," towards Ziggler, and then Ziggler says he's trying to be a man, he's trying to be a man so that the crowd needs to shut up. Ziggler was having none of it, saying that Reigns nearly got hit by a lighting rig, but he has never been speared by Goldberg 3 times. It's bad enough getting speared once by Goldberg, but he didn't see it coming. Ziggler thought Goldberg had to wait 6 months in between spears, which I thought was a great little line right there. In the last few weeks, he's had a DZ wannabe and HBK Shawn Michaels kick him in the face. He's so off his game that Maurice's husband, The Miz, took him out. It should be him being the main attraction. It should have been me. That was where Dolph Ziggler went right back to this. That was barely English. Let me try that one more time. That was where Dolph Ziggler went back to this type of attitude. And then he blindsided Roman Reigns with a super kick to the face. It was all on after that. We got ourselves Roman Reigns versus Dolph Ziggler, the match. And this match was my match of the night. I rooted so hard for Dolph Ziggler. Dolph is my boy. You guys know this. I love me some Dolph Ziggler. And he looked fantastic. And the thing that I'm loving about Dolph Ziggler's latest run is that he is literally putting everybody over and getting over himself. He does not need to win at this point in his career because he's getting over with his mic work, with phenomenal in-ring matches, with phenomenal selling, and it's just working for me. It's working so well for me, this new Dolph Ziggler character. I just hope that he sticks around for a while. I hope that he continues to get opportunities to showcase his skills. If he's willing to go in there and put anybody over, put him in every single damn match at the start of the show. He is that good. Love Dolph Ziggler, and man, what a matchup we had between them. It went over the commercial break as well, which is always good to see. And then we ended with Roman Reigns delivering a hell of a spear to beat Dolph Ziggler. What a matchup, man. That's just the way that you love to see a match start. That's the way that you love to see a night start, right? If you have this night start off as a bang, as a big match, Dolph Ziggler versus Roman Reigns, you set the tone for the night. You're telling everybody that this is a match you want to watch right off the start, but this isn't even our main event. Everything after here is supposed to be better. It's supposed to be bigger. It's supposed to be grander. And you know what they say, if you're not going on last, you want to go on first. So Dolph Ziggler and Roman Reigns absolutely killed it tonight. That match was match of the night for myself. I don't know if it was match of the night for you guys, but I thoroughly enjoyed that matchup. It was really, really good. So kudos to them putting together a great, great performance. All right, then we got a nice little pre-tape promo from Becky Lynch backstage. It was good. It was good. It was real good. It tied together all the loose ends that it needed, and it continued to back up this fact that Becky Lynch is still chasing the women's division, and now saying that Sasha Banks is in a game of cat and mouse, and she's going to get got. She said something about the fact that she had dollar store glasses, something about the fact that Sasha Banks would not be there without Becky Lynch, and the fact that Becky Lynch put more effort in getting Sasha Banks to the WWE than Sasha Banks did. I think it was a really cool moment, a really cool direction for them to go, and I thoroughly enjoyed this rivalry, and at least the start of the rivalry. Good work there from Becky Lynch. Great promo. Excellent work. Let's get on to the King's Court, where we were supposed to be getting the special guest, Sasha Banks. However, this thing took a turn to the dark side. And the dark side being Bray Wyatt's Fiend. Did not take long for Jerry the King Lawler to hype up the King of the Ring tournament before Bray Wyatt's stuff started to flicker out the lights of the arena. We slowly lost power all the way around the arena. Jerry was the first smart man to actually leave the ring, saying, I know where this is going. I don't want to see this. I don't want to be a part of this. Jerry hightails up the top of the ring, and sure enough, waiting there at the very top for him was the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, mandible claw, placing down Jerry the King Lawler. It was scary, it was freaky, and my reaction is up on YouTube right this moment. If you guys want to see my reaction. I thought that was a great way to continue to introduce Bray Wyatt. You want to keep him as a special... You want to keep him as like this special type of superstar. You want to keep him more as like an attraction superstar, right? You don't want to overexpose him, but you also want to get as much attention on him as possible. Him going after all the legends like this is gold, because every single time that a legend goes down, they are doing their duty as a former WWE superstar to put over somebody in this generation, to get a good segment, to cut a little promo, promote something, and then put someone else over. It was great. I thought that Bray Wyatt's whole thing was awesome tonight, and his stuff with Jerry the King Lawler was just... You couldn't write it any better. I liked how we weren't expecting. I mean, yeah, sure, some people were sitting there saying, oh, I expect the Fiend to come out because there's a legend in the ring. Okay, fair enough. That's a very, very fair way to look at it. What threw me off is that this was supposed to be an interview segment between Sasha Banks and Jerry the King Lawler. And I just think that's what you need more of in wrestling. You need more unpredictability. You need more segments to go sideways. You need just more versatility in their product, and they are slowly unlocking it here with the return of Sasha Banks, with Bray Wyatt, and everything else that they have been kind of manifesting here. The push of Braun Strowman has been really good as well. Seth Rollins' character, well, you can either like him or not. He looked very strong against Brock Lesnar as well. So, like, there's a lot of good things going on. in the WWE, but I would definitely say the best thing going on is Bray Wyatt. All right, and this is also another little thing of the whole show that I really, really enjoyed. I thought the way that they brought Vic Joseph onto commentary was damn near ingenious, because what you did is you got Jerry the King Lawler to open up the show with a familiar face on commentary, right? And there's a lot of people who tuned in tonight's Monday Night Raw who are casual viewers, who have not watched wrestling in a long time, who are literally coming back for the King of the Ring tournament. You've got a lot of people who did that. That is just so true. You know, lots of casual viewers tonight. And what you do right off the start there is you put a familiar face in Jerry the King Lawler next to Michael Cole and Renee Young, and you immediately are like, oh, this is cool. This is really neat. We now have a familiar face that we're familiar with. We know Jerry. We know the puppies. We know everything like that. And so Jerry the King Lawler sits on commentary until his segment comes, and then they write him off commentary with The Fiend. I think that was perfect. There is very little ways that, or not, I shouldn't word it like that. There is very few times that WWE actually gives a reason for a commentator not being there, whether they get attacked, whether they get removed off TV or whatever. They gave Jerry the King Lawler a reason to not return to commentary, and as a direct result, Vic Joseph was able to get a solid 2 hours on Monday Night Raw, their flagship show, working as a color commentator, a spot he is not normally in. He's normally play-by-play. So I think that that was just a great way to get Vic Joseph onto commentary. Honestly, really, really well done. And so far, so good. Everything has been clicking for Monday Night Raw. Matthew Granlin, I see that $1 in there. Thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate your support as always. You guys are always really great. But before we continue on with the rest of the show, make sure everybody drops a little like on this video if you are enjoying it. Also making sure you are subscribed to the channel. Let's now talk about not my first, how can I say this? Not my first distaste of the night, but something that didn't quite sit well with me. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the Ricochet and Miz versus Drew McIntyre and Baron Corbin match. And Chris Williams, I'll be taking live calls after we're done the review part of this show, usually around the half-hour mark. This match right here, Ricochet and the Miz versus Drew McIntyre and Baron Corbin. I understand the concept to want to take the King of the Ring participants from Monday Night Raw, who are going to be facing each other next week, putting the King of the Ring logo on it, and hyping up for King of the Ring, because you want to create some cross-promotional activity. You want to show who else is in the tournament without actually showcasing them in singles matches. To me, this is a misstep, because what you do is you just had two people who are going to be in the tournament lose. And they were, you know what I mean? Like, and it was the baby faces who wins. And all of a sudden, the mystique of Corbin and McIntyre, who are much larger superstars than The Miz and Ricochet, have lost. And it was a solid match, don't get me wrong, guys. But you're trying to hype up this King of the Ring tournament as all these superstars, you know, not having any advantage over each other, that it's a tournament, that it's a one-shot elimination. And all you put into our minds is that McIntyre and Corbin lost. So what happens then when McIntyre beats Ricochet next week and Corbin beats The Miz? Because that's probably gonna happen, right? Right? That's probably what's gonna end up happening, because the babyfaces won this week. You might get one babyface. You could see maybe The Miz beating Corbin, but at this rate, with McIntyre losing this week, you take away the mystique of the match. Essentially, I'm definitely not gonna sit here and complain about it, but I think the timing on this match was wrong. I do not believe there was any need for this to happen here, and you essentially could have probably got something more. Or hell, you know what? If you really wanted to do cross-promotional for the next King of the Ring, why not have a match like, say, Ricochet versus Ali? Hyping up, you know, a Raw versus SmackDown superstar who is in the King of the Ring tournament. Or maybe, you know, you have two from Raw, two from SmackDown face each other, because the wildcard rule is in existence. And it doesn't really matter if brand gets swapped around at this point. It was fine, a match. It was actually fairly solid, and Ricochet and The Miz pick up the win. But this is just where I'm talking about with the small little things that good fans, that diehard fans are going to pick up on. And usually if somebody wins the week before a tournament or a big pay-per-view match, it is called 50-50 booking in the WWE, and they end up flipping it right back onto the other side. So Ricochet and Miz pick up the win this week, and it looks like probably in the tournament we're going to see Drew McIntyre and Corbin pick up the win in advance in the tournament. We then got Michael Cole interviewing Booker T via Skype. I don't know what's going on with these Skype things. I don't know if Skype has maybe bought some advertising stuff inside of WWE, but regardless, I'm all for it. I think Skyping in legends to give their thoughts on current superstars puts them over without them really needing to even be there. Stone Cold Steve Austin put over Becky Lynch big time, put over Kevin Owens big time. And King Booker, he put over Drew McIntyre. Just little things like that do stick in the casual viewer's mind, right? And Booker T, nice little promo there. King Booker, if you will. We then got our United States Championship match on the evening. It was Braun Strowman versus AJ Styles with the OC at ringside. And sure enough, this is exactly what you thought was going to go down. It was going to be a dominant performance from Braun Strowman before AJ Styles and the club kind of all get involved with this matchup. Obviously, AJ Styles was in this, but the club at ringside, the OC, gets involved, causing a disqualification there. Seth Rollins comes out for the save, saves Braun Strowman, and you get a nice little tease for the rest of the night. Really wasn't much of a match, predictable ending, but it got to the next point, which is where WWE was clearly trying to go. They wanted to get to the point where Seth Rollins asked Braun Strowman to be his tag team partner because they've had each other's backs and get a shot at the Raw Tag Team Championships tonight. Now, everyone, even with the result later tonight that we found out, and we'll get to that in just a little bit if you do not know what happened with the new tag team champions, but this made no sense. None. Zilch, zero, poo-poo, nothing. No sense at all why Rollins and Strowman got a tag team championship match. No sense at all. I did not hate the match. I did not hate the story. But you got to give us a reason why they are in fact challenging for the titles, and why can wrestlers all of a sudden make championship matches? Why is Seth Rollins, the Universal Champion, allowed to be in the back hallway asking Braun Strowman, a man who he has never teamed with, if they would like to face for the Raw Tag Team Championships because they've had each other's backs? You know who has also had each other's backs? Cesaro and what's his name? Tyson Kidd. They've had their backs for years and years and years. They're former tag team champions. Tyson Kidd obviously can't wrestle, but guess what? If Tyson Kidd came back tomorrow, you do not give Cesaro and Tyson Kidd a tag team championship match without making them earn something before. It doesn't matter who you are, where you are, or what you're doing. You have to earn your matches, especially championship matches. You have to earn the right to challenge for them. And Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman earned nothing together. Nothing. They got attacked 2 weeks in a row, one at the end of Raw, and one during the middle of this show, and Seth Rollins made the save today, and Braun Strowman made the save. That's it. How does that get you a tag team title match? How is that our booking? How is that our direction that we go when there is tag teams lining up the Wahoo and they want a shot at the titles, but they can't get one? You have Street Profits in the back, NXT tag team champions for now, and they are there at Raw, and they're not even put in matches, and they have more credibility as a tag team than Strowman and Rollins do. Look, I have no issues with the match itself later on in the night, and the storyline is interesting. Okay, I am extremely interested now that they are the tag team champions. But my God, give us reason. Give us reason for the matches happening. Have the GM book it. You can't have Seth Rollins backstage making matches just because he's the Universal Champion. You don't get to skip the line for tag team titles because that devalues every tag team in your division. Not only that, you had not one but two single superstars who never teamed before take on the tag team champions and beat them. It devalues your tag team champions for a short-term storyline, which is going to be Braun Strowman or Seth Rollins turning on the other to go after the Universal Championship. It's short-term booking, and it's short-sighted booking that has plagued the OC, plagued Gallows and Anderson since their arrival inside of the WWE. It's plagued them since day one. They can't get any momentum going because they always make them drop the titles for two other random single superstars. It makes no sense. I'm okay if they wanted to do maybe like a qualifying match for the tag titles where Strowman and Rollins have to beat another tag team. Hell, we had a tag team match on Raw tonight. You know what I mean? Like, these are the little things that you gotta watch out for in wrestling. And sure, the end result is the same, but what am I sitting here ranting about at the end of the night? How it made no sense. And making sense in wrestling is just one of the most basic things. It's the basic storytelling lines. How do you make a story matchup? You make sense of it. And tonight's tag team title match made no sense. None. The way it was set up, the way it was brought about, the way that it was confirmed on commentary, that's another thing that pisses me off. Confirmed on commentary? There was nothing with a general manager backstage. There was nothing like that. There was no one official making the matches. Why? Why does Rollins get to make that match? So that is essentially my biggest problem of the night. Other than that, the show was really, really entertaining, but that was a big glaring plot hole in the entire show that I just really need to talk about there. So yeah, that's essentially my rant on the night. Now, let's get into a really good match. Samoa Joe versus Cesaro. Right out of the gate, Cesaro jumps and, hits his running uppercut onto Samoa Joe. Really good start to the match. I saw a great tweet that said that he was getting some revenge for Tyson Kidd, so there you go. That's kind of a cool little story thing, that Samoa Joe was going right out of the gate for Tyson Kidd. Very, very neat. However, the match was really, really solid overall. I don't have any issues with the match. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but I love the way that they set up the submission. I love the way that Samoa Joe won. It was the right call. Very right call, as Samoa Joe advances in the tournament. Joe will face the winner of Ricochet versus Drew McIntyre, and here's the thing. Either of those matches are going to be really good. Samoa Joe versus Ricochet in the second round could go exactly how I booked it in the King of the Ring How I Would Book video that I made for you guys. But it would be very surprising to see Drew McIntyre get eliminated round one. So a Drew McIntyre Samoa Joe round two is interesting. A heel versus heel dynamic could be happening. We then got, what was it? Yeah, so we got footage that was shown of Drake Maverick trying to pin Elias for the 24/7 championship at a recording studio. It did not work. And then we got Elias in the ring. This was a weird segment. There was a lot of stuff going on, like noise-wise, and Elias, it almost seemed like it wasn't meant to be there. I don't know if the audio guy was messing up, or I don't know what it was, but it was very, very weird. I don't quite understand what was going on in that segment, but very weird. R-Truth came in. He tried to attack him, tried to roll him up, hit him with the scissors kick, but Elias got out of there still, the 24/7 champion. I believe that's the first night in a while that when the 24/7 championship has been featured on TV, there hasn't been a change. Hey, Brian Odell. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Let's get it, Brian. Oh, yeah. Woo. Yeah. Get it. What? New member. Oh, yeah. What? Oh. Get it. What are they? sweet knees are made of these. There we go. I love that music. Gotta love it. Nice little dance break in there. Always really entertaining. Now, let's talk a little bit about Rey Mysterio. That's right, Rey Mysterio almost turned heel. Not heel. Wow, I read something in the chat. Let me try that one more time. Rey Mysterio almost retired. Very, very close to retiring, but he did not. It apparently is going to happen finally after months and months and months of me saying that Dominic, Rey Mysterio's son, is probably going to debut in the WWE at some point, probably going to tag with Rey Mysterio. It is finally coming true. Dominic looks like he's going to be making his in-ring debut alongside of his father, Rey Mysterio, before Rey Mysterio truly retires. I love this. I hope they have a tag team title reign. You know what I almost hope? I almost hope Braun Strowman and Seth Rollins, they vacate the tag titles in some way, and then it opens up a tag team tournament. Something like that, you know, would be really, really neat. And what if Rey Mysterio and Dominic won the tag team championships together? That would be ideal. That would be perfect. That's all I want. I want to see that. So, yeah, if Braun Strowman and Seth Rollins find a way to drop the tag titles, maybe they forfeit them in some reason. Maybe Strowman turns on Rollins, forcing them to forfeit it, or they face off in a 2-on-1 match, something like that. I don't know. Anyways, I'm just thinking out loud. But regardless, Mysterio says that he and his son are going to tag team at some point. Really good, saying Mysterio said he'll do it for his son. I'll do it for you because I love you, son. Wow. So, also apparently Dominic, so just to give a little bit of backstory on Dominic, he's 22 years old and he was a little stiff on his lines. Hopefully he'll be okay. Hopefully he'll pick it up as he goes. He's got the blood. He's a third-generation superstar, so he should be good. And I can't wait to hear Dominic Mysterio. That'd be really cool. Imagine if he comes out wearing a mask, too. If he wears a mask like his father, I think that could be really cool. And what if Dom turned heel on his father? Oh, we're thinking out loud now, aren't we? Whoop, baby. Let's talk a little bit about the New Day versus the Revival. Very entertaining match from start to finish. I loved the Randy Orton RKO out of nowhere. All I gotta say is if WWE is thinking about somewhat making a faction between the Revival and Randy Orton, the top guys, if you want to call it that, please WWE, please, I beg of you, make this a thing. They were so natural together. They were so good together. Their finisher is perfect. A double, like almost like a 3D death drop, but there was two of them right there dropping it into the Randy Orton RKO. That would be a picture perfect finisher every time. They are made to be together. They're both the Revival and Randy Orton are all, fairly boring wrestlers in the sense that they don't do anything super flashy, but they're really, really solid. I want to see this match. I want to see this team. I want this to be a group. I want them to have the tag titles. I want everything. Put everything on Randy Orton and the Revival. All right? Make them a faction. Call them the top guys and have them always say top guys out. And that, you know what I mean? It would just be so good. Please, I want it. I want it. I want it. Randy Orton's RKO, though, to a few members of the New Day as well, was really, really good in that matchup and segment. Very fun. I had a lot of fun watching it, but the best part, I want to say, that of the whole segment was Randy Orton going into that sadistic side of his, making Kofi Kingston watch as the Revival essentially shatter the knee of Xavier Woods. God damn. We then got the interview between Sasha Banks and Michael Cole. Cole said that they were hoping to get the comments on the King's Court, but other circumstances came into effect. Cole asks her to explain her actions after a shocking return last week. Banks says it's been a crazy emotional week for her. Last week, she looked in the mirror and told herself that blue is her color. People are talking all about her blue hair when Michael Cole rudely chimed in saying, to be honest, Sasha, nobody's talking about your blue hair. And I don't know about you, Michael, but everybody was talking about Sasha Banks' blue hair. It was like the main talking point. It wasn't even the talking point that she turned heel. It was the fact that she dyed her hair blue. That's what people were talking about. That's what made everybody take notice of Sasha Banks. So Michael Cole, don't know what you've been smoking over there, but clearly it's some good stuff. People are talking about her blue hair. But Michael Cole continued to dig, trying to find out exactly why Sasha Banks attacked Becky Lynch and Natalya. Banks only simply replied with, "You're welcome." She is a heel with attitude. We then got Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss versus Fire and Desire. This was a non-title matchup, but it was still a 2-on-2 tag team match. And this just continues to showcase the fact that the women's tag team division is so shallow right now. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville should be built up as number one contenders, and instead they're having to be fed to Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss simply because there's no one else to take the fall. WWE needs to do something with their women's tag team division. They need more tag teams. We need the return of Nia Jax and Tamina, just to be factors in this tag team division, to give some opportunities, give some people that they can overcome. We need some more. The Sky Pirates need to be the thing. The Kabuki Warriors, yeah, they kind of suck right now. So split Asuka, put her with somebody else. Go Asuka and Naomi. That one is a very fun team, ready-made, that they've got some connection with. Just go make tag teams. Put them in front of the ring. If they click, great. If they don't, leave them. And it's just kind of like you're burying all the tag teams that should be next in line for tag team titles. You're burying Fire and Desire for a loss to Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss. You're burying the others. You're burying the Kabuki Warriors. And it's not necessarily burials, but it's just like they're losing to the champs. Where do they go with this? Where do they go? Who's going to be the challengers? Because all I see is a bunch of losers in the women's tag team division. That's all I see. But yeah, anyways, Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss pick up the win after a good, not great match. I also think what really needs to be happening with Bliss and Cross is we need some definitive characters. We need to know, are they a heel or a face? We need to see the development of these characters to where they go. Are they bad guys? Are they good guys? Are they an odd couple? What are they? Because some weeks Nikki Cross acts as a face, some weeks Alexa Bliss acts as a face. Some weeks they act as a heel. Some weeks Cross is a heel, some weeks Bliss is a face. Some weeks Bliss is a heel, some weeks Cross is a face. There's no lines to their characters right now, and we don't know if they're heel or babyface. And as a result, it makes their matches very, very, very difficult to buy in. Kind of the same issue that we ran into Bayley versus Ember Moon at SummerSlam, where people just didn't truly know who to root for. And the same thing in this match. Sure, people are obviously behind not Mandy Rose. They're behind Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. But why? Why are we behind them? They're the tag team champions, and Alexa Bliss is one of the biggest heels in the women's division to ever grace our screens. Why are we cheering them? Why are we told to cheer them? These are the little things of their characters we need to know. We know we like Nikki Cross, but she has also shown many characteristics of being a heel as well. So it's just a bunch of little things that I'm just not necessarily following with this story, and I really would like to know more of them. So yeah, Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Let's get some definitive characters for them. We then got Cedric Alexander versus Sami Zayn, and this was the match that it needed to be if you were going to push Cedric Alexander. If you were going to push Sami Zayn, obviously you wanted to go the other direction. You wanted to present Sami Zayn as a little bit more of a credible opponent. But here tonight, Sami Zayn is losing for a reason. If you heard his promo before the match, Sami Zayn acknowledged the fact that he's been losing a lot, that he refuses to allow his career to go downhill. Well, he lost again. So now you have a very, very, very interesting story with Sami Zayn on where he's going. You know, is Sami Zayn going to be a guy who is just constantly losing now, who gets fed up with losing and eventually snaps and becomes this whole new character? Or do you go in this direction where eventually, you know, Sami Zayn, he turns babyface because he's losing so much. Maybe he gets some sympathy from the crowd. There's some ways that they can go with this. And obviously I don't really want them to turn him babyface because I think Sami Zayn is killing it as a heel right now. But there's many directions with a losing storyline that you can go, right? And right now, Sami Zayn's mic work is so incredibly well done that he doesn't necessarily need to win the matches to stay over with the crowd. It was the same thing Baron Corbin was doing for a bit there. It's the exact same thing that, you know, what was it? Who else lost quite a bit in a row? Becky Lynch, you know, before she became the man, she lost a lot in a row and it turned into a storyline. You know, it was just good. So yeah, Sami Zayn, massive win for him here tonight. And there you have it. He picks up the win with the lumbar check. And he will be taking on the winner of The Miz and Baron Corbin on next week's Raw. So that is that one. We then got a great backstage promo segment from the Street Profits. And I don't want to spoil anything, but there was something that was very noticeable on Monday Night Raw. The lack of tag team championships around the waist of the Street Profits. That's all I'm going to say. I noticed it on Raw, and I think that means something's happening on NXT. Yes, I think. All right. Yeah, but the Street Profits looked really good backstage. They had a great promo segment. I just wish that they'll be used as a tag team here in the coming weeks. They probably will be, but yeah. All right. We then got the Natalya segment backstage where Natalya was cutting her promo on Sasha Banks, saying that she was her friend. She was a close friend. How was her friend? Why could she do this to her? How could she do this to her in one of her most vulnerable states? And then sure enough, Sasha Banks comes right in and attacks Natalya's arm once again, putting it in between a crate and slamming that crate shut, and proceeds to drop one of the most savage lines I have heard in a while. Natalya was told, "Go to hell, Natty. Tell your daddy I said hi." Are you freaking kidding me? Is this the character we're going to get? We're going to get an edgy Sasha Banks. Hell yeah. What a freaking awesome moment to see. Sasha Banks is truly a heel. She is truly the bitter blue bitch. And she is going after Natalya. And she is going after Becky Lynch. Loved it. Writes Natalya off screen for a little bit longer. And then it gives her a ready-made feud for whenever she comes back. Will be awesome to watch. Then we had our main event, and then we're going to get to your guys' live calls here in just a moment. But Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman versus Gallows and Anderson with AJ Styles. You guys saw the match at the end of Raw. It was a solid match, honestly. Like, for everything that I kind of ripped on it before, you know, earlier on in this night, how it made no sense. I do break down each segment on their own because sometimes storyline or things happen that just don't make sense, right? So ignoring the fact that this doesn't make sense, this match was really well done. The way that Braun Strowman started off the match, the way that Seth Rollins played the babyface in peril, the way that AJ Styles tried to come in at the very end to save the match for the OC before getting curb stomped, the way Braun Strowman bowled over everybody at the end of the match. It was a really well laid out match. Really well laid out. Rollins and Strowman looked honestly good as a tag team. You got that big and small kind of combination, which is really, really good to have. And yeah, at the end, you know, like, you can say whether you agree or don't, but we do have a different storyline. And again, the reason why they were challenging for the titles made absolutely no sense, like none whatsoever. But the match itself, the story moving forward from here, is intriguing. I am very intrigued to see where they go with this. It's probably not going to last long. You know, it's probably going to be very reminiscent of Shawn Michaels and John Cena when they became the tag team champions as well. Going to be very, very reminiscent of that. You know how history repeats itself in wrestling. But still, it was entertaining. It was an interesting way to end the night. Didn't expect it. And, you know, that's good. So, yes, everybody, just to quickly run over the results. Roman Reigns defeated Dolph Ziggler. Ricochet and The Miz defeated Drew McIntyre and Baron Corbin. Braun Strowman defeated AJ Styles via disqualification, so Styles remains the United States champion. King of the Ring first round match, Samoa Joe defeated Cesaro via submission. The New Day defeated The Revival via DQ. Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss defeated Fire and Desire in a non-title match. The King of the Ring first round continued with Cedric Alexander defeating Sami Zayn, and Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman defeated Gallows and Anderson to win the Raw Tag Team Championships. That's it, folks. That was your results from Monday Night Raw. Now, before we get into your live calls, everybody, I got to kindly ask that you make sure you leave a like on this video. Also, making sure you are subscribed to the channel right above my head right here. You can see your name pop up. So, we got time, like I said, for about 3 to 4 live callers probably today. It is 12:13. I'll probably be done by 12:30. So let's see how long we can get your calls in for. So who are we going to start things off with? We are going to start things off with Paul Deadman. All right, everybody. So Paul Deadman, you are up next. Let's get talking to Paul. We are ready to go with our Raw post show. Hey, Paul Deadman, how you doing, my friend?
Oh, it's Conman.
Yes.
What's up, Conman?
How's it going, man?
Alright. Very good. So, I thought of a cool little storyline that I thought it'd be cool if you heard.
All right, let's hear it, man.
Alright, so basically, Seth Rollins still has the championship at Royal Rumble. I don't like Seth Rollins, but it would work, I guess. And basically, Roman wins the Rumble. And people aren't happy. And during the build-up, you know, Roman's like, I was champ, you took it, I was injured, or I was sick, or whatever he would say. Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, how I would see it going is Roman just snaps one day, and he just, starts attacking Seth, and he pushes away Becky and Lynch, and he looks, and he rolls out because he's like, I can't do this, that was wrong, I should not have pushed Becky, that's a woman, Roman, calm down. Then, let's say he beats up, Cedric or something one week, Rollins comes down, tries to help, but he just doesn't want to hit him, because they're brothers, and, basically, it's 2 weeks before WrestleMania. Seth is he's just not there that night. He's taking a break. He's practicing. He's getting ready for his match. And Becky Lynch is in the ring. And Roman comes down, Shield-esque style. He's got the mask that they wore that one time. And he just stares at Becky. And he spears Becky Lynch. And then the next week, Rollins says, all right, Roman, you want a match? You got it. Street fight. Falls count anywhere. Whatever you want, you got it. Then Roman beats Seth. That's a cool storyline right there.
Yeah, that's not bad, man. Not bad at all. There's definitely would be a lot of weeks to try to fill up. But yeah, I don't mind that at all. The attack on Becky Lynch is interesting, and bringing Becky Lynch back into the reason maybe why Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins are at each other's throat, that might be an interesting added element to it as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Also,
I like
real
it,
quick.
man. Yeah, go right ahead.
Really quick. Who do you think is going to win King of the Ring?
I think it's going to be Kevin Owens. I think they're trying to make him into Stone Cold Steve Austin 2.0, and winning King of the Ring is certainly a good way to help that.
I think he's going to win it, too. It's either going to be him or Drew, or maybe even Ricochet.
Yeah, because that's the thing now, because Drew McIntyre and Ricochet are facing in the first round, right? So it almost goes like what you would expect the Final Four to be. You would probably expect Kevin Owens, Andrade, Ricochet, and Drew McIntyre. It kind of opens up a spot for one extra guy in there.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting, especially next week when we see those guys fight.
Right.
Anything else you'd like to talk about before we get to the next caller?
Yes, the Fiend Bray Wyatt. As you can clearly tell, that's my new image, if you're looking.
Mm-hmm.
People like, I asked your Discord community, and people said, well, he's okay. He's not the best. And I like his new theme. I think it's very scary.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think,
So, like people are saying that they're not a big fan of this Bray Wyatt?
they say he's okay. Like, they're saying he's basically the same, only with a mask. He snaps people's necks now. That's pretty cool.
He is so far from a different character. Like, this is not even remotely close to the cult leader, like the backwoods cult leader of Bray Wyatt. No. He is not the same whatsoever. To talk to anybody in that Discord server, he is a unique character that has never been seen before. This split personality disorder with the Firefly Funhouse, and the fact that he's got a creepy guy in a mask with one of the best theme songs I've ever heard. At least best remix theme songs I've ever heard. Because to go from that old Firefly song where it was all smooth and casual and just creepy enough to a screamo version of it with like high-pitched notes, like, come on, that's one of the best remixes I have ever heard for a theme song.
The one thing I really like about the new Bray Wyatt is, like, even when he's in the funhouse, he's just like, Finn, your ego becomes too much, and the Fiend doesn't like that.
He's just got that added creepiness, right? That added creepiness every time that he says something.
Alright, I'll let you talk to other people because they're probably waiting very anxiously.
Yes, we got to get to a few more here tonight before it becomes 12:30. So thanks for calling, man, and I hope you enjoyed Raw tonight.
You're welcome.
All right, let's get on to. Let's go with Peyton Cash. Peyton, how's it going, buddy?
Convict has arrived.
Oh, how's it going, buddy?
I'm doing good. I'm taking this convict thing very seriously.
Yeah, I can tell, man. You've got that convict everywhere. You got your guy as your little profile picture. It's pretty sweet to see. I love seeing the Conman Universe taking off like this. What'd you think of Monday Night Raw, my friend?
7 out of 10 for me tonight.
What? Sorry, if you can repeat that.
7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Okay, all right.
Yeah. It wasn't that great, but it was a pretty good show. Key moments for tonight. Number 1. That freaking Sasha stuff we see on it tonight. That was a pretty. The way she said, "Tell your daddy I said hi" and hell. Yeah. I was like, that was so disrespectful. You can't do that to a daughter of a former wrestler, who just no words out of that one. Number two. Bray Wyatt attacking the King. And I now realize how I don't know if I think Wyatt might be attacking legends now, just like Lars Sullivan did when he debuted.
A little bit, definitely. It's just such an easy way to introduce a monster type of character to a casual fan audience, right? Because you gotta think.
Yeah, I would agree.
You gotta think that the majority of people who are tuning in to watch Raw for the very first time do not give two craps about two smaller guys going in the ring. They want to see the larger-than-life superstars. They want to see people that they're familiar with. They want to hear names that maybe they've heard in passing, right? And you maybe heard Jerry the King Lawler in passing. You maybe heard Kurt Angle in passing. Even if you've never watched a day of wrestling, you've heard those names. And so when you put the Fiend Bray Wyatt out there to attack these legends, it just immediately shows off to all these casual viewers that this guy's to be taken seriously. This name that you came to watch tonight just got choked out in 3 seconds by this guy in a scary mask. Like, that is a very, very scary man. Sorry, buddy, you got cut out. But yeah. That's a very, very scary man is how I finished that. What else did you think of on Monday Night Raw here tonight?
One last thing, number 3, is we got a new Raw Tag Champ. To me, that made absolutely, I'm sorry for swearing, no fucking sense. I hated that. Like, Seth Rollins giving them a title shot, but they went on the same. I don't even understand, man.
Yeah, it's a little baffling how they got the opportunity. Personally, like,
Yeah.
after I was able to get over that, the fact that they were getting that opportunity and that they didn't actually have to ask like a general manager or anything like that for the opportunity.
Yeah.
Once I was able to get past that, the match was fine. The result is intriguing. And it's definitely going to be interesting TV over the next couple weeks. Like, what's going to happen? Who's going to turn? Are they losing the titles? Do they hang on to them, right? There's at least questions moving forward into future weeks. But again, I keep going back to the fact that they just literally leapfrogged every single other tag team on both Raw and SmackDown for a shot at the Raw Tag Team Championships from a team that just got them. It made no sense in that way.
I agree. All right, man. Thank you for having me tonight, and I'll see you tomorrow for Fire Wrestling from Honor.
Sounds good, buddy. Have a good one.
Yeah.
All right, let's get on with the real Chris Williams. Hey, Chris Williams, how you doing, my friend?
What is up, Conman?
Not too much, my friend. Just enjoying the post show of Monday Night Raw. What were your thoughts on the show, man?
My thoughts on the show was you should subscribe to Wrestling Network. Shout out to Arcanium.
All right, let's go on with Miles Rowan. Hey, Miles, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, Con, what's up?
Not too much, my friend. What were your thoughts on Monday Night Raw?
Here, let me turn off this. Alright. So, I was just really, really confused about Braun Strowman and Seth Rollins winning the... I mean, I personally am one person that loves Seth, but, I mean, I just don't get how you just don't even get, like, a number one contender match or whatever.
Yeah.
And just win the tag team titles.
It's a tough pill to swallow, isn't it? Like, it was a really glaring plot hole on the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that they're having, like, I see the Revival and the New Day as two great tag teams, right? I just don't get how there could be cross-branded tag team title matches. Like, if the Revival won the titles, like, the SmackDown Live tag team champion, but they're on Raw, that's not something out of, like, Universal.
Seriously,
Like,
it's exactly what it's like. It's like you have WWE Universe mode on autoplay, and they're just adding everybody from both brands. It doesn't make sense. I would like it to go back to, obviously, a definitive brand split. I think it's probably just going to be a few more months away. Whenever WWE does switch over to Fox Sports, I bet you they're going to have, their brand over there, and then you're going to have the USA Network with Raw with their brand over there. That's probably what it's going to be, because they don't really want superstars crossing over at that point. USA Network's going to say, hey, we want this superstar on our brand, and then we want this one over on Fox, right? So at least we're probably going to get a split brand soon. But right now, it's just a very, very tough thing to follow, where SmackDown superstars coming over challenging for Raw titles, and the vice versa, just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I get why they're doing it, though, so they, can keep two women's titles, two tag team titles. But I think that would be a cool idea, have, like, a mid-card women's title and, like, a mid-card tag title.
Well, yeah, if you think about it this way, man, if you went in the direction of maybe combining the men's tag team championships, maybe combining the men's mid-card championship, and then you have the 24/7 championship, which is your goofy one for your undercard, right? And then you add that mid-card championship into the women's division, all of a sudden then you have two world champs, two women's champs, and then a mid-card division in each, and a tag division in each. That makes a lot more sense than having multiple tag divisions, in my opinion.
Also, a little fun fact that I have to end it off is that Seth Rollins is the WWE superstar with the most tag team title reigns with different partners.
Is he really?
He's won it with 4 different partners.
Wow.
Jason Jordan, 2 with Dean Ambrose, 1 with Braun Strowman.
Did he ever win it with Roman in the Shield?
Yeah, in the Shield.
Yeah,
when
he did
Dean
too.
was US champ.
Yep, he did too there. Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Thanks for the little fun fact, man, and thanks for calling. Make sure you call back in the future, all right?
All right.
All right, have a good night, buddy.
You too.
All right, everyone, and we got time for one more caller. So let's go with Atlanta, Spain. Hey, Atlanta, Spain, how you doing, buddy? Atlanta, Spain, how you doing, man? Let's go with Cross Dragon 25. Hey, Cross Dragon 25, how you doing, friend? Cross Dragon, you there? Okay. And I guess we got time for one last caller. So let's go with what are we gonna go with? We're gonna go with A13 Entertainment. A13 Entertainment, how you doing, friend?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing fantastic. You're the final caller of the night, so make it a good call.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So what were your thoughts on Raw tonight, my friend?
It was quite a wild ride, that's for sure, especially with the whole Sasha Natty stuff. That was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that really was. So was that the stuff that you enjoyed the most on the night?
That was probably one of my favorite segments. I always enjoy seeing the King as well. Like, you know, I've been watching the King since 2000. I mean, he's one of my favorite commentators of all time.
How could you not love the puppies?
Exactly.
Yeah. It was great to see the King, and I just loved the way that they presented him on commentary tonight. He wasn't on there all night, which was good, but it was also really good to see him at the start of the show.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's always a treat seeing the King, and you know, he's never fails to win me over with his segments.
No, never does. Never does. What else did you like on the night?
I enjoyed the match for the tag title, but obviously it made zero sense. It would have been a lot better if it was like a disqualification or anything like that. But,
Yeah, I agree with you, man. Yeah, it made little sense why they were getting the titles, but yeah, the match itself was fun, no doubt about that.
Yeah, it was good, and I could see Braun and Seth losing them pretty quickly, probably due to some random crap by AJ Styles and.
Yeah, you're probably on something there. It's going to be very reminiscent of when John Cena and Shawn Michaels were the tag champs together, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. And it'll be quite entertaining, though.
And any other gripes that you had on the night, though?
Not really. I'm a pretty positive person. A lot like a few wrestling YouTubers I've seen over the years.
Yeah, that's good. At least you enjoy the product, right? You're not one of those fans that sit there and literally complain on absolutely everything, right? You enjoy what you watch, and that's good to hear, man. Anything else that you would like to talk about before we let you go?
Yeah, I always look on the brighter side. I'd just like to say thank you for putting on all this, you know, through the streams and everything, and also for following me on Twitter personally.
Oh, no problem, man. I love doing this. It's literally the thing that I look forward to the most every single week. I love streaming, and I love being here to entertain you guys.
Oh, it's definitely greatly appreciated. That's for sure.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. So yeah, you have yourself a wonderful night, and thanks for calling, buddy.
Yeah, you as well. I will be there for Fire Pro and for SmackDown tomorrow. I will not be talking during Fire Pro, though, because I got to work.
That's okay. You do your job, and I'll entertain you through your earbuds.
All right, sounds good. Hey, you have a great night.
You too, buddy. Take care. All right, everybody, and that's going to bring us to the end of the live call section of today, and that actually brings us to the very end of the show. Woo! We're done. All right. Right now, everybody, at this very, very moment, you can go watch my live reaction to Bray Wyatt attacking Kurt Angle, attacking Jerry the King Lawler, and I also plan on uploading my reaction to at least... I'm not sure. I'll double check out these reactions. Hey, take a little look at that. You haven't really seen this. The Conman pads right there. I'm down to a few papers left. Shell got me those a long time ago, which is pretty cool. But yeah, that brings us to the end of the show here today. Make sure on your way out you leave a like on this video, and you make sure you are subscribed to this channel. Once again, guys, I am back here tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, give or take a half hour, with Fire Pro Wrestling World. We'll be live with that, like I said, at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then on Tuesday night, we're live again at 8 p.m. with SmackDown Live, and then at 10:30 p.m. with our SmackDown Live review. But take care, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure you... Make sure you follow me on Twitter at Conman167. You can follow me on Instagram, which is right there at Conman167 WWE. And make sure you guys chug some water before bed because it's good to stay hydrated. Advice from Con. Take it or leave it. Whatever you want. But that'll do it for me tonight, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I've been Con, and that was WWE Monday Night Raw.